Okay, so today we'll discuss 5G. So it is very interesting to discuss 5G in your Internet of Things. First, there is question, what is the requirement of 5G in your Internet of Things? Okay, so Internet of Things, what we are doing, we are connecting whole devices with the help of your internet, right? So what is the requirement? Requirement is we need to have a smart network. Okay, so 5G is your smart network in the terms of your bit rate and bit rate to cover to speed up your data. That is the main requirement for your internet of things. So this is how 5G uh, 5G is the main part for the internet of things, because you need to require to have smart communication network. Okay, so this is your introduction. Introduction part, as you can see, 5G technology stands for fifth generation mobile technology. 5G technology has changed the means to use cell phones within very high bandwidth. It will have high bandwidth. User never experienced ever before such a high value technology. Nowadays, mobile users have much awareness of the cell phone technology. 5G technology is most powerful and is huge demand in near future. So these are some points related to your introduction. Evolution. Okay, so first G introduced in the year of 1981. After that 2G came, after that 3G came, after that 4G, and then we are waiting for 5G. So first G was based on the analogous system. There was no concept of digital at the time of first G. So that's why there was no meaning of data rate at that time. 2G, it is based on your GSM technology, global system for mobile communication. So it's increase your data rate, and now there is data also in your 2G system. 3G is the modified version of your 2G, 4G is the modified version of your 3G. Now 5G architecture is different from your 4G. So because of its architecture and because of its frequency range, it's increasing your data rate. So next is your global system for mobile communication. As we have already discussed that for 2G, we have there was GSM, global system for mobile communication. So what was the architecture of at that time? At that time we were using this type of architecture. We were having mobile station, that is your mobile phone. We were having cell towers. We were having BTS. BTS is nothing but base transceiver station. We were having BSC, base station controller. We were having MSC, mobile station controller. VLR for visitor location register, HLR for home location register, AUC is authentication center, EIR is equipment identity register. Okay, so this all component, this all thing we were having at the time of GSM. So now we need to know how this data, how your call flow at the time of GSM, right? So first, your call or your data travel from mobile station to your network, and from the network it will go it in your BTS, and from BTS your data will go in your BSC, and from BSC your data move forward to your MSC. BTS will collect all the information related to your data with the help of TRX. TRX is nothing but transmitter. BSC, base station controller, will control your BTS, and then These, after controlling and after collecting the data, this BSC will uh, forward your data to the MSC. What MSC will do? MSC simply search your data address with the help of VLR, HLR, AUC, EIR. With the help of these things, MSC will calculate or search your receiver address, and then it will forward your data to your respective respective receiver. So this is how your call flow in the time of your GSM, in the time of your 2G. How? From MS your data will go to BTS, from BTS your data will go to BSC, from BSC your data will go to MSC, and then finally with the help of MSC your receiver will receive your data. So it is the architecture of GSM at the time of your 2G generation, 2G. Okay, so this is the architecture for your 5G. In between this 2G and 5G, there is some modification has done in your architecture of GSM that we were using at the time of 2G. So 3G architecture is nothing but it is the modified form of your 2G. 4G architecture is nothing but it is the modified form of your 3G. Now 5G architecture is little bit different. In 5G architecture, what's we are having? We are having a particular phone of 5G, right? And in that 5G phone, we will have everything. It will include a transmitter, receiver, um, antenna, synchronization component, everything it will have. Only you need to have your tower. In 5G, you will have lots of tower as compare lots of tower, and your mobile will have all the component related to your receiving or sending data. So this is the architecture of your 5G. Your mobile is having everything, but you need to have your you need to have only your tower. Why 4G is not sufficient? Okay, we are already having 4G. So what is the problem with that? Basically, for Internet of Things, where in Internet of Things we are trying to control our car, our bulb, our printer, our computer, our fridge, our watch, and everything. We want to control everything with the help of your internet, right? So what we required? We required a smart way of communication. We required high speed of data so that it can control all of your device, or it can connect all of your device in a smart way. So why 4G not sufficient? Because we need more data, we need good speed, we need more latency, right? Latency is the delay. Latency is the delay. So we need to have, we need to manage our latency also. Large throughput means what? We are having at a particular time, we are having a large number of data, right? So we need large number of data, and our system should be stable, and our system should not have some redundant things, right? So this is why 4G is not sufficient to enable your IoT. Next is your 5G technology. So basically, uh, what is this technology? What is 5G technology? So basically, it based on your high frequency millimeter waves. Okay, previously we were working on micrometer, but now we are working on millimeter waves. Ranges 20 gigahertz and 70 gigahertz, right? So now we have increased our range of frequency. So range of frequency is inversely proportional to your size of antenna. So if we are increasing our frequency, it means our size of antenna get reduced, right? Again, if your antenna size reduced, it means you are having more space inside your phone so that it can accommodate other part of your network also, right? So that's why your 5G phone will have lots of facility, including your network or including your antenna. Phased array. So how phased array will work? Suppose there is some intruder. So for that intruder, what this phased array will do, there will be some destructive work happen for the intruder. Means one phase will cancel out other phase so that your intruder won't receive your data. And for the receiver, for the authenticated receiver, how your phase array work? Your phase array work in the constructive way. It will add up your array. It will add up your array or amplify your array so that your listener, your receiver will receive your data with full authentication. Small cell tower, very obvious, because you are using a very high frequency range, so there will be small cell tower. Now what is the problem? What is the biggest problem with the 5G technology? Biggest problem is short range. It's having short range because it's already using high frequency, right? And its length will be very short. Its length will be very short. You know, frequency is inversely proportional to the wavelength, right? So if we are increasing frequency, basically what we are doing, we are decreasing the corresponding wavelength. And if your wavelength is decreasing, it means there will be very short range. You can connect within short range only. So here you can see the range of your respective frequency. Also our 5G technology work in your millimeter waves. Early we were working in the microwaves. One more thing, why we are working on microwave range and millimeter wave range, right? So it means we are receiving lots of power from the antenna. So lots of power from antenna, it means it is very dangerous for the human being. But one thing you can notice, your phone is capable of some watt. So it will receive some watt. You can say 1 watt only. Say only 1 watt will receive your phone. So when it will receive your 1 watt, so your body is made up of 100 watt. So it can tolerate that 1 watt received power from the network. Okay, so in this way it will neutralize that millimeter waves conks, but still it will have it will have it will have some dangerous effect on your health. 5G backbone. So what is the basic of your 5G backbone, and what good feature is there that is supporting this technology, and why we are waiting for the 5G technology, and why everyone is waiting for the 5G? P2P possible means peer to peer connection. Now we are not like in GSM, there was a central technique. Every call go to the your MSC, but now your call need not to go your at any center. You can connect anywhere. Your phone is working as a center, so you don't need to go anywhere to correct your network. So there is a peer to peer possible. You can go anywhere to correct your network. Second is full duplex using hardware. What does it mean? Early what we are doing, we are having two link when we are talking. One is forward link and another one is reverse link. And this both link, forward link and reverse link, were using uh, were using different frequency. And nowadays also this forward link and reverse link using different frequency. So this difference in the frequency creates delay in your system, and that's delay cause your bad 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 network conductivity, or your there is reduced data rate. That's why there is reduced data rate, right? But now in 5G what will happen, there will be full duplex, means your reverse link and your forward link will work on single frequency. Okay, and when when it is when it will work on single frequency, it means it will increase your data rate, right? There will be, because there will be no delay, multi path for everything. Now what we are having, we are having multiple path, right? And in 5G, and we can choose our path. And if there is some strong path for your for the transmitter to receiver, we can follow that path, because we are having multiple path option from where we can transmit our data from transmitter to receiver. Second thing is software defined network. Now we are not having any hardware concept, right? In early days or in nowadays also, we are having hardware part for every service, right? But in 5G we will have the software version. So software version is easy to handle also as compared to your hardware. Now, what is context aware resource allocation? Okay, for to understand context aware resource allocation, we can take one example, right? Like we are going on a car, and there is a priority that we need to track that car. Okay, and simultaneously uh, we are we are listening music also using internet. Okay, so in emergency case, your net will be used for your priority based service, like for the to track your car, not for the internet, not for the music that you were listening, right? So it is your priority base, it is your context of where what you need most. Okay, whatever you need most, it will work for that in the case of emergency. So it is the meaning of your context aware resource allocation. So these are the 5 points which is the backbone of your 5G. Cons. Now we have seen lots of pros for the 5G, and yes, there is lots of pros also for 5G, which making 5G in demand for the future, right? But there are cons also for 5G. First one is poor coverage. Like you have seen already, short range. It is your short range. That's why it will have the poor coverage. Data location. What's total data location means? It will track you exactly. If you are in the uh, in in which room you are, it will track that. It can track that also, because it is your short range. It is your short range communication, right? So it is also bad thing some way. Bad business model, it's having bad business model. Okay, now it has to implement, your 5 has to implement lots of tower in your place, right? Earlier we were using 10 we were using 10 or 15 towers, so it was very hard to implement that also. Now we need 100 of towers to, so you can understand how company will manage to install all those towers. So it's a bad business model basically. Health issues, as you can see, it's a range in millimeter. right? It's a very very small frequency range, it's a very high frequency, right? So it can create health issues. And you know, it's a very high frequency, so it won't go inside your body. Okay, it won't go inside your body. Your skin has to face everything, right? And if your skin has to face everything, it means what? It can damage your skin. So it can cause your skin cancer also, because your skin has to face that particular frequency. Okay, so this is a health issues related problem. Okay, so these are the cons part of your 5G: poor coverage, data location, bad business model, and health issues. Okay, so we have seen lots of information about the 5G today, from the architecture to pros and cons. So it is all about your 5G.